Welcome to National Stadium Karachi, Pakistan's cricket cathedral. This ground has been the stage for cricket legends and unforgettable moments. But between the cheers and celebrations, it's actually falling apart. Half-renovated stands, obstructed views, and crumbling facilities tell the story of a stadium fighting to stay relevant in modern cricket. Today, we'll talk about the chaotic charm of NSK, where Pakistan's cricketing soul lives on despite the cracks, and discover how its troubled present might just be setting up a glorious comeback. Built in 1955, engineers Abdul Rashid Khan and Kafiluddin worked their magic on a massive 174-acre plot, turning empty land into Pakistan's 11th first-class cricket venue. The first test match at NSK, held from February 26 to March 1, 1955, between Pakistan and India, which ended in a draw with Fazal Mahmood taking 6 wickets. Over decades, it hosted parts of the 1987 and 1996 Cricket World Cups, the 2008 Asia Cup Final, and more recently the PSL Finals that brought top-level cricket back to a city starved of international action. Did you know they actually changed the stadium's name? In October 2022, they slapped National Bank Cricket Arena on it after a 5-year naming rights deal. First time any Pakistani stadium got the corporate treatment. Some fans loved the cash flow, others called it selling out tradition. What makes NSK special isn't just cricket though, it's where legends were born. On November 15, 1989, a 16-year-old kid named Sachin Tendulkar played his first test match here. Same game, a young fast bowler called Waqar Yunus made his debut too. 2 cricket legends, 1 Karachi pitch, and here Pakistan went unbeaten in 34 straight test matches until England finally broke the spell in 2000. That's cricket dominance that built not just a stadium's reputation, but a nation's cricketing identity. But while history made NSK famous, the present is where things get really interesting. Originally built to pack in 34,228 screaming fans, NSK now holds a more modest 30,000. Why the downsize? The answer is ICC Champions Trophy 2025. The PCB dropped a whopping 3.5 billion rupees on upgrades completed just a few months back. Sounds impressive, right? They installed fancy LED floodlights, added new guardrails, built a pavilion with 24 hospitality boxes, and even put in actual foldable chairs in some sections. Yes, real chairs. Apparently that was an upgrade. This wasn't their first renovation rodeo either. Back in 2017, they spent 1.5 billion rupees getting ready for the PSL 2018 final. That money bought them 800 CCTV cameras and some elevators. And way back in 2007, they splurged 7 million rupees on a massive 75-meter-long, 44-meter-wide digital screen. Pretty cutting edge for Pakistan cricket at the time. But despite all this money spent, fans still complain about the basics. Metal beams block views, especially in so-called VIP areas. During the Champions Trophy opener, even famous Pakistani actor Adnan Siddiqui went online to blast the terrible sightlines. Imagine paying top rupee for a VIP seat and seeing more metal than cricket. The renovations tell a bigger story about Pakistani cricket. Big ambitions, half-finished execution. Stand in certain sections and you'll see brand new seats right next to construction zones. But whether you see NSK as a symbol of neglect or work in progress, you can't deny the raw atmosphere it creates on match day. The fan experience at NSK is like Pakistan's cricket itself. Brilliant one moment, frustrating the next. Pack this place for a T20 international or PSL match and you'll witness cricket passion unlike anywhere else. The 2018 PSL final was absolute pandemonium. Every seat filled, voices hoarse from chanting, a sea of green flags waving non-stop. Those recent renovations I mentioned, they added some air-conditioned areas and better seating. But let's be real, you'll still sweat buckets in most sections. That's part of the NSK experience, the hot Karachi sun bearing down as you cheer Pakistan on. Getting to the stadium though, that's a traffic nightmare of epic proportions. NSK sits smack in the middle of bustling Karachi, near the National Coaching Center, making it accessible in theory but a logistical headache in practice. On match days, the surrounding roads like Stadium Road and Dalmia Road turn into chaotic parking lots. Horns blaring, cars inching along, and motorbikes weaving through the mess. It's a gridlock that tests even the most patient fans. Some locals swear it can take an hour to cover a couple of kilometers when a big game's on. The journey's so maddening it's almost a rite of passage, but maybe that chaos is just part of the NSK experience. What really irks the regulars is the inconsistency. Some sections got love in the renovations, others feel abandoned, and after the 2018 upgrades, 40% of seats were still missing. Not broken, just not there at all. Despite these flaws, there's something magical about NSK when it's rocking. The noise bounces off concrete walls, creating an intimidating cauldron for visiting teams. It's what I call chaotic charm. Not pretty, but definitely memorable. And speaking of memorable, this stadium has hosted some of cricket's most iconic moments that fans still talk about decades later. Remember when the West Indies were absolutely unstoppable? In 1987, the mighty Viv Richards walked out here during the World Cup, absolutely demolished Sri Lanka. 181 runs off just 125 balls with 16 fours and 7 sixes. The scoreboard operators needed a break after that thrashing. But for Pakistani fans, it's the homegrown heroes who created the most special memories. Take Mohammad Yusuf in 2006. The man was in a different zone that year. Against West Indies at NSK, he smashed 192 runs, breaking Viv Richards' record for most test runs in a calendar year, 1,788 runs in 1 year. The crowd went ballistic as cricket history was made right before their eyes. Kamran Akmal's rescue act in 2006 against India stands out. Pakistan was drowning at 39 for 6 when Akmal stepped up with a fighting 113, turned certain defeat into a draw through sheer grit. The Karachi crowd, usually quick to boo failures, stood and applauded for minutes. Perhaps the most emotional moment came much later. International cricket drought due to security concerns, the PSL final returned to Karachi in 2018. A sold-out NSK roared as cricket finally came home. Islamabad United beat Peshawar Zalmi, but the real winner was Karachi itself. Even in its half-broken state, NSK manages to produce magic. That's what drives fans nuts about the stadium's condition. How can a place that's witnessed so much greatness be left to decay? It's like keeping the Mona Lisa in a leaky shed, but not everything about NSK is worth celebrating. The stadium has had its fair share of issues that show the complicated reality of Pakistani cricket. The biggest blow came after 2001 when security fears turned this cricket fortress into a ghost town. Terrorist bombings in Karachi scared away international teams for nearly a decade. Only Bangladesh and Sri Lanka dared to tour, and even they came with serious security concerns. Imagine being a cricket-mad kid in Karachi during those years. Your home stadium? Silent. International stars? Nowhere to be seen. An entire generation barely saw live international cricket at NSK, only a few teams like Zimbabwe in 2015. That's why the PSL return in 2018 meant so much more than just cricket. During the Champions Trophy 2025 preparation, there was a brief issue with the Indian flag not being displayed initially alongside other participating nations. It was quickly resolved before the tournament began. The stadium's biggest ongoing controversy is perhaps the half-finished renovations. Despite billions spent, fans still complain about basics like visibility and comfort. During important matches, spectators paid good money only to stare at support beams instead of cricket. When you're spending your hard-earned cash on tickets, this isn't a sight you want to see. The PCB deserves criticism for how they've handled renovations. They started work too late before big tournaments, rushed through critical upgrades, and focused on flashy additions while neglecting basics. And speaking of watching cricket from different places, if you're checking out international stadiums online, you'll want protection when browsing. NordVPN keeps your connections secure and lets you access geo-restricted cricket content from anywhere. Check out the link and comment below. What drives me crazy is seeing how other countries treat their cricket cathedrals. Look at the MCG in Australia or Eden Gardens in India. Historic venues that have been modernized while keeping their soul intact. NSK could learn from these examples instead of lurching from one half-finished renovation to the next. Despite all these issues, Pakistani cricket fans still pack NSK whenever they can. That loyalty speaks volumes about their love for the game, even when the facilities let them down. And looking forward, there's reason for cautious optimism about what NSK might still become. The National Stadium Karachi stands at a crossroads. Its legacy is secure. This is where Pakistan's cricket identity was formed. But what about tomorrow? PCB has promised more renovations after the 2025 Champions Trophy wraps up. They talk about modern facilities and world-class experience, phrases Pakistani fans have heard before. Will this time be different? Let me know in the comments below. I think NSK needs more than just cosmetic changes. Cricket stadiums worldwide are becoming entertainment hubs with restaurants, museums, and year-round attractions. NSK, with its massive 174-acre footprint, has space for all this and more. But vision and execution are two different things. The good news? The recent upgrades did make some legitimate improvements. Those 24 new hospitality boxes and upgraded floodlights are steps in the right direction. What makes NSK special can't be fixed with construction crews or budget increases. It's that intangible feeling when 30,000 Pakistani fans create a wall of noise as their bowlers run in. It's the history baked into the concrete, where Richards dominated, where Tendulkar debuted. No renovation can create that kind of legacy. Before you go, ask yourself this: what makes a cricket stadium truly great? Is it modern facilities, perfect sightlines, or is it the stories and moments that happen inside? If it's the latter, then NSK, for all its flaws, remains one of cricket's most important venues. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the National Stadium Karachi, hit that like button and subscribe for more cricket stadium stories. Check out my video on Eden Gardens in Kolkata, another historic venue with its own fascinating tales. It's popping on your screen right now. Click on it, and I will see you on the other side.